Okay, welcome to the Social Media Success Strategies training for today, and welcome Lois, and I'm sure other people will be hopping on, and welcome to those of you who are watching the video. And if we don't have anyone else hop on, Lois, you get to be like the star pupil.
Oh no.
Yes, and that's a good thing. So so what I want to do, actually, what I would like to do is I want to start with introductions. And what I would like to hear is, I want to hear of course, your name and your business. I would like to hear what is working for you and what particular questions you have about social media right now. And it can be about any of your social media. So go ahead and be put on the spot.
Okay. Well, my name's Lois. I'm a travel advisor, travel consultant, and my biggest concern, well, I'm not very social media savvy. I do Facebook more than any other, and I don't tweet, or I'm not a twit. So I do Instagram just to look at my son and my daughter-in-law's pictures of my granddaughter. So I know I need to get to doing that better. I have received no business from social media, so that's why I'm a little reluctant, but I would like to get going because travel's still not happening. So I need to learn more and move forward.
Right. So you're just kind of, you're not really receiving any business from it. You're just kind of doing it to stay visible as much as you can.
Right, right.
But you're involved in some groups. I assume you're involved in the Polka Dot group and.
Yes. Yeah. Well, a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And great. Okay. So just so that I can know, because you're here and I want to just like really help you. What are you doing now related to your travel business that's going to benefit you? I mean, are you just sort of like waiting for things to open up, or do you have another stream of income as well?
Right now I have email, I don't call them blasts, they're just weekly emails that go out to all my travelers.
Okay.
And I do hear from some, but and I'm doing more land planning, travel planning for November, October into December and January right now, because people are starting to get more interested in planning travel.
Right.
We all know that we just can't go anywhere internationally right now, and I tend to book more Europe, but a lot of people are wanting to see the States right now because that's what's open.
Great. Okay, so that's good.
So I just keep myself, like you said, exposed out there to the people that I already have in my database.
Okay, great. So, so thank you, welcome. And I'm going to just kind of launch into talking more about, I'm going to address some of the things you talked about, and I'm going to mute just so that there's no background noise, and then you can unmute if you have questions, or you can put them in the chat. So what I want to talk about with everybody today, there have been a lot of changes in social media, and a lot of people are sort of struggling with social media. Like you said, they're not getting business from it, and it just feels like this big waste of time, or it feels like a time suck. And one of the things I always like to say is, just because everybody else is doing something doesn't mean that you should do it. And I think that's a lot of what happens, is people start posting things. And what happens is everybody's kind of struggling, confused. And so what they do is they end up just doing what everyone else is doing. Hi, Pamela, welcome. Welcome to the training. I just kind of launched in. So I'm going to just keep going. And I think after a few more people come, I think I'll kind of pause again for introductions. So actually, I want to pause. Pamela, do you want to do an introduction? Let's have you introduce yourself.
Hello, Diana. Hi. Hello, Lois. I apologize for coming in late. My schedule is so jammed packed. My meeting started at 6 this morning. And while in one Zoom, Mercedes-Benz knocked on my door saying, "We're here to pick you up to pick up your car." I'm like, "You didn't call me to say you were coming. You
Uh-oh.
just told me my car was ready," right? So I'm really just walking in the house, and I don't have my camera set up so, with the perfect angle. That's why I'm not showing my photo. But I am absolutely a person in business, and social media is important for a person in business. I'm retired law enforcement, so I'm not used to having my face out front. I like to be undercover. So
Okay.
it's new territory for me.
Well, I'm super excited that you're here, Pamela. And maybe when you get in your house, you can put your camera on. But I am gonna keep going, and welcome.
Okay.
Glad you
Thank
made it.
Thank-
Okay, so I'm going to keep going. So the internet, I like to say the internet is a 24/7 networking opportunity. Okay, so it's just like a networking event. It's just like if you went to an in-person event. It's just like at of course, now we're all doing virtual events, but it is a 24/7 networking opportunity. And the thing that I really want to emphasize, and for those of you who are just attending today, just to let you know, so this is a monthly training, and each month it's different. There's a little bit probably overlap because sometimes I need to say the same things every time, but it's different every time. And so I want to encourage you, if you message me, I'll send you the recordings from the last 2 classes so that you can sort of like keep up on it. But what I really want to talk about today is, I feel like a lot of why people do what they do on social media is because you just don't know what else to do. So you just do this thing, which is you just kind of post and post and post, and it's not intentional. So I really want to talk about intentional posting and how to really, like what you said, Lois, how to get business from social media, but also how to connect, network, and create referral partners and relationships. So my newest Diana-ism is that, for every hack, there's an algorithm. And here's what I mean by that. So, but what I mean by these hacks are, well, here's the latest Facebook trick to not get put in Facebook jail. And here's the latest trick to not, to not get your posts hidden. And try this. And here's this thing you can do. And the thing is, we can't game the system. Facebook has an algorithm. They have these little bots. And every time you try to do something that is, this hack or this trick or this thing you saw someone else do, Facebook has an algorithm, and more people are getting put in Facebook jail. And what that means is you get your Facebook profile taken away for a weekend, sometimes a week, and sometimes permanently. The other thing is called shadow banning. And what that means is you're posting and you're doing your thing, but nobody is seeing your posts, because that's like sort of strike one with Facebook, is they hide all your posts. So I want to encourage you to not try to game the system. So you're probably thinking, all right, well then what do I do? And that's what this talk is about today is, what do I do? What do I post? How do I do this thing? So, the bottom line is I want to encourage you to share quality content and quality links. In other words, quality content is content that your ideal clients want to know about. Quality content is education, information, inspiration, and on quality links, which means make sure that the links that you are sharing, whether they're your links or whether they're links that you're sharing from someone else, are quality links. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. One of the things that we all probably have experienced is these scammy, spammy links that we get in our messenger from someone else. Goes, here, forward this to 10 people. Okay. Or, there are videos that you have to click on. I'd strongly recommend, I can't, whatever is beyond strongly recommend, don't share those. Don't pass them along. Don't share them. They're usually spam. They're not anything that's going to benefit you in your business. Okay. Like I had somebody share a link with me yesterday, a video, and it was actually a very good, interesting link. It was to click on a video, and it was about something that had to do with cell phones. But before I clicked on it, I messaged her and I said, I don't click on links in my messenger, so I need to know what this is, because I respect her and I know she wouldn't send me something that was spam. So, but I still didn't open it, because sometimes people don't even realize the things that they're sending are spam. So A, don't send those things through Messenger. B, don't share them in your feed. So a lot of times, you know, you'll see like, hey, you know, get a free computer or something like that. Or there's if you click on a video and it goes to an ad of some sort that's off of Facebook, Facebook will ding you for that if you share those. So don't share things like that you don't know what it is, because first of all, there's no benefit to you in sharing those things. And second of all, if you will get dinged by Facebook, and you know, you probably have gotten the messages from your friends afterwards when they shared those things and they said, sorry, I got hacked. So I like to share my do's and don'ts, because I feel like these are the things that cause people to stop using social media. Because what happens is you do this, you know, you kind of not really sure, and you share it, and then you get hacked or someone else gets hacked. So I'm telling you, you know, these are the ways that people get hacked. And getting hacked on Facebook, what that means, there's two ways you get hacked. One way is somebody, you know, breaks through your password and they can actually get into your account. That is rare. The other, and they can steal your account and use it to promote their thing. The other, more like, I would say 95% of the time, the other way that people get hacked on Facebook is somebody takes your picture, your profile picture and your cover photo. They create another profile and they use an email address that's very close to what your email address is, and they create another account. So they didn't really get your password or any of your information. They just took your picture and your cover photo. So you know, just report those things to Facebook, and so that, you know, if somebody sends you a friend request and you're pretty sure you're already friends with them, then don't friend them again and report it to Facebook. So there's just a few little things. I always like to share, you know, the hey everybody, let me post this and see if anybody sees it, or, you know, only 25 people are seeing my posts. That one rolls around every now and again. Click here if you're seeing my post. Those are all hoaxes, and Facebook frowns on those. So don't share them, don't participate in them. They are called engagement bait. And anything that is engagement bait, which is Facebook's definition, is that you are, you know, falsely trying to entice people to engage with you on social media. They frown on that, and you know, you won't, it doesn't benefit you at all. So what are things you still can share? I mean, if there was a child missing, or if there was, you know, a fundraiser, things like that, you can absolutely share that kind of stuff. But it's all about coming back to being authentic and sharing what is real and authentic. So my mission is to, you know, inspire 2 million of the 3+ billion people on Facebook to raise the consciousness of Facebook, raise the quality of our experience on it, raise the quality of the things we share. So these are some things that just avoid these kinds of things that I just talked about. So now on to, okay, well, what do we do? So the first thing you want to think about is your message, okay? What usually happens when we open up Facebook is we say, what should I say, right? Because that's, you know, that's the obvious first question, but it's not really the first question. What you really want to think about when you open up Facebook or any social media. So when I say Facebook, I'm saying any social media. You want to think about, who am I talking to? Who is my ideal client? And what would they like to see in their newsfeed or on my social media that is a representation of who I am and what I want them to know about me and what's going to be of interest to them? Okay, so the first thing is, who am I talking to? And you want to narrow that down on social media to, you know, is it men? Is it women? Is it 30 somethings, 40 somethings, 50 somethings, 60 somethings? It's not that easy to say, because each different age range is going to going to resonate with a different message. Okay. So even if you're somebody, I sell travel to everybody, or I sell insurance to everybody, or I do, I can help anybody with their emotional problems. That is, I'm sure that's true, but the message has to be honed for each different age group that you're working with and each different, demographic. So you want to think about demographics, and you want to think about psychographics. So psychographics are, their personality things. What kinds of things interest them? What kinds of, if I'm using you, Lois, as a, if you're selling travel, like what kinds of trips are going to be attractive to maybe the 30 somethings, it's going to be a family vacation, or the 60 somethings, it's going to be like that 2-month cruise around the world, or, so you want to think about it in terms of who is my ideal target market. And you don't necessarily need to only have one campaign. You can have numerous campaigns. So you could rotate them by the month, or every 2 months, or certain seasonal times of the year. Maybe there's certain things you would promote at one time of the year, and other things you might promote at a different time of the year. So you can have different promotions, but you want to be like, have at least a month of promoting something. I usually like to do like 2 months, or if it's, you could do a season. Some people's promotions can be focused around the holidays. So it could be something related to the holidays or cycles of the year. You can make up your own different seasons or cycles. So what I want to do first, just before I launch into some other social media concepts, is I want to talk about the importance of having your own online presence. Okay. So social media is a marketing tool. Okay. So it's not a selling tool necessarily. And that's a lot of times where people get confused. So marketing is inspiring people to take action on the thing they need, on your expertise. And so what you want to do is you want to have a way to stay in touch with people, so that if they're not ready for you right now, you have what I call the container. So the first thing you want to think about is you have to have a message. The second thing you want to think about is, what is your plan? What is your, I call it, some people call it your funnel. It's basically, how are you going to attract people to sort of like get to know you, to check you out? It's like I like the Baskin Robbins pink spoon, like you want to give them a sample of what you do. So, and for some businesses, it's a little more challenging than others. I mean, I know you can't give them a sample trip, but what you could do is you could create like a webinar. Do you have anything like that, Lois? Like a free webinar, or any kind of a little training that you do?
Oops. I have access to webinars, but I don't present them myself.
Okay, but you could send people to those, and then afterwards they would be instructed to come back to you to purchase, right?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, so that's perfect. Okay, I'm going to talk about that a little bit in a minute. And what about you, Pamela? Do you have a freebie that you are using right now? I'm not sure if you're.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. And tell us what you do too.
Well, I am a retired law enforcement officer with 26 years of service.
Mhm.
My mission in life has always been to protect and serve. And now I am protecting and serving people regarding their financial future, right?
Mhm.
So who is my target? Who am I talking to? I am talking to women who have historically been left out of the room, left out of the equation. And I'm not only inviting them into the room, I'm building tables and offering them a seat at the table to grow their wealth, start their wealth, protect their wealth if they have it. And with a company that is over 175 years, who's always known the value of women in the workplace as they've hired their first female agent in the 1890s. So they care
Awesome.
about us. They want to let us know that what we are worried about, they have a solution to. And I'm that agent to connect women to New York Life.
Awesome. And do you do webinars or free trainings to sort of like, is that your freebie?
My freebie was last year, a first and a third Saturday virtual cup of coffee. Come, let's have a conversation. And we talked about wide variety of things. So that was my step in because I was comfortable reaching out to anybody. So that step in built my confidence, and I was able to talk to people. Now my New York Life does have seminars based on certain products and stuff. I just wasn't really using theirs. My conversations were pretty much around where you prepare for this pandemic financially.
Mhm.
If so, how? And if not, why? Let's fix it.
Awesome.
So it was pretty much a casual conversation to a group of women on first and third
I
Saturday.
love that. See that, so that's great. That's totally awesome. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, so those are both great examples of freebies. I kind of recommend live things for freebies these days because it gives people an opportunity to get to know you. Sometimes people just do a webinar where it's recorded, and I actually, like a lot of people, as you can see, are watching this recording, going to be watching it versus attending live. But I like to offer it live for whoever wants to be here live because I feel like it just gives people an opportunity to get to know me. So, so great. So you have a message. You want to talk about who are you talking to? What is the struggle that they are experiencing that you are the solution to? And then, so it's who are you talking to? How do you help them? And what are you selling? I skipped those two parts when I talked about the message. So I'm backtracking a little bit. And then you come to your plan and you have a freebie, which they call a lead magnet. That's like the technical term. And I want you to think about that term. So it's a lead magnet. In other words, it's a way that you magnetize leads to you. And that's why you want to have it be something that people really get an experience of you. I love the coffees. You know, Lois, you could do like a webinar, the videos, and then also be on live with people too afterwards to answer questions, something like that. Okay, so that's your plan, your freebie. And, you know, on social media, if you are going to promote something, you're going to have the most success if you promote something that's free. Trying to sell something on social media, unless you're going to have a lot of money to invest in Facebook ads or something like that, which I actually don't really even advocate Facebook ads. Boosting posts works, but the Facebook ads, you really have to have a lot of money, and it's still really questionable whether they even work or not. So you have your plan, and then you have what I call the container. Okay, so your container is your website and your email marketing. And I cannot even tell you how important this is. You know, if you don't have the container and somewhere for people to sign up with you, to stay on your list so that you can continue to stay in touch with them. I always say, like, social media is like chasing a flash mob. So, you know, flash mob where they're in one place and they're in the next place and the next place. And it's like, you're going to meet people, ideally, in my perfect world, you're getting on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Eventually, not in the beginning. In the beginning, you know, Facebook, LinkedIn, but eventually you want to expand your social media online presence. And maybe you're speaking. Maybe you're going to networking events. Wherever you're meeting people, the goal is to get them onto your list so that you can continue to stay in touch with them until they're ready for you. And the thing is, if you don't get people on your list, here's what happens. When they're ready, guess what? They pick that other person whose list they're on. And you're like, hey, because you weren't staying in touch with them. I've had people come back to me after they've been on my list for 3 or 4 years. And I want to just say, on the list it means they're getting quality content from you. Okay, so they're not getting buy my this and here's a sale and buy my that and here's a sale. They're getting education, information, inspiration from you. Like 90 to 95% give and 5% promote. Because if all you're doing is selling to them on the list, they're probably going to unsubscribe or put you in their Gmail promotions where it just goes into their ad stuff. So, and it gives them an opportunity to pass your information along to other people. Like you send this great email about educating them about something, and they can share that with other people. And then it extends your reach through email. So, you want to be playing on social media, you want to be doing all these different marketing activities, and then you need to have your container and your own website. So I'm a strong advocate, even if you work for a company, to at least have a landing page or something with your own, like your name, like DianaKonkoffMorgan.com or whatever it is. Because if you change companies, what happens is you lose your whole online presence. And the other thing that's a benefit of having your own website, whether it could be like, 2 or 3 pages, contact us, about us, homepage, and whatever, a blog or whatever. And if you have that, when people Google your name on on Google, what happens is your website comes up first. If you don't have that, when people Google your name and your company website comes up, then people can pick whoever they want to pick on the company website. I mean, I know that you might have a link that goes directly to your page or your section of that website, but if people just Google your name, that website will come up and there's no telling if they're going to pick your name or someone else's. So, it's just something to think about. So like I'm in the 15th year of this business, and I have been, I started in search engine optimization and websites and all of that. So I have that geeky internet marketing background. So that's sort of where I'm coming from with that comment. Pamela, did you have a question?
I unmuted. I didn't raise my hand, right? Yes, thank you.
Uh-huh.
So I did buy my name as a domain, PamelaFrison.com. I do not have a landing page. I just bought the domain. I am interested in doing that 3-page. Contact us, me, about us, me,
right.
Homepage, me, right?
Right. Correct.
I also have a personal website with New York Life that is drpamfrison.com. So if somebody says Pamela Frison, it's going to go to me even at New York Life. But I did not connect my domain name to my New York Life page just because I hadn't gotten around to it.
Right. So you also don't want to have too many domain names connected to one website, because like that used to be a good thing in the past, but now it can be viewed as spammy by Google. So, but eventually, having that with your own 3-5 page website is what I would recommend.
Yeah, I don't have it connected to it. I don't.
Yeah, that's good.
It's doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah, and I'm happy we can have an offline conversation about that. I'm happy to recommend someone if you're looking for someone to create a simple website for you too.
Absolutely. I'm not trying to spend a lot of money, right?
No, right. And you don't need to, because it's not like a main website. It's a simple online presence, so that you down the road, you might go like, okay, now I want to expand this and build it up. But number one, it's giving your own URL history, your name URL. And number two, it's your own online presence. I'm all over my own online presence, so that if Facebook decides to put me in jail, or if something happens with the company I changed, whatever, then I have my own online presence. It's like your storefront. It's like your own online storefront.
I love it.
Okay, awesome. So this is the thing that I really want to focus on today. And this is the thing that I'm super excited about. And, in my, in my history of doing this work, just to give you a little bit of my background. So I'm a recovering corporate misfit, and I was in my corporate life for not really as long as most people. But what happened for me is, number one, I didn't fit in. And number two, my son came home from school one day and said he hated school. So I realized I needed to be both a stay-at-home and a working mom. And I turned my hobby into a business. I'm a non-denominational minister, and I also was doing marriage prep and relationship coaching. And so I took that and I turned my hobby into a business, and I launched Blessings to You, my wedding ministry. And super long story short, I built my business very successfully. I had a 20-year run. I got to be a stay-at-home and a working mom, and I built my business to over 100 weddings a year. I had 6 other ministers in my ministry, and I was among the top paid ministers for what I was doing in the Bay Area. And how I did that was, in the last 10 years, I got ahead of the curve on the internet, and I cracked the code and figured out how to get to the top of Google. So, so that's where I started in, SEO and building websites and getting to the top of Google and all that. And 15 years ago, I transitioned from Blessings to You into my current business, Whole Heart Marketing, because I wanted to help amazing, higher conscious, purpose-driven women to grow their businesses, because I felt like that would be a way for me to contribute to the healing of the world. And so that's how I got into what I'm doing. And what happened for me is, I woke up one day to realizing social media is the thing. And then I woke up to it saying, really, God, Facebook, this is my life, because there's the part of me that's just, this is so not who I am. And there's another part of me, because my mission is to connect people from their hearts. And that's what I've always done. That is me. So, so what happened for me is I had to ask many times, 3 big times, really, God, Facebook? And I kept getting pushed back to it, yes, Facebook. And that's where I got to this place of realizing that social media is a powerful tool for transformation, for changing, for healing the planet. And it could be the most annoying thing that ever walked the face of the earth. So I'm going to pause for a second. Pamela, did you have a question?
No.
Okay, because I'm just going to mute so there's no background noise.
I'm sorry. I thought I was on mute.
No problem. So I got to this place, like I always say, Facebook can be like high school. I don't know about you, but for me, in high school, I was like that person who felt like everybody else was super happy and doing great. And I was like, I'm not that happy. And what's wrong with me? And it's a little bit like that with Facebook, right? There's some FOMO going on, and and also I feel so remember playing jump rope when you were a kid, and they do the 2 jump ropes, and then you try to jump into the middle. Sometimes I feel like that with Facebook too. It's so I really wanted to help people to understand how to use social media as a powerful force for change in the world, rather than just be annoyed and put off by it. And every time Facebook creates a new algorithm, people want to shut down their Facebook. So that's what I want to talk about. And, I always say there's room for everybody. And you don't need 3+ billion people to have a successful business, right? I want you to think about, how many people do you really need? Each of us represents 50,000 people in our 6 degrees of separation of who we know, who they know, 6 degrees out. 50,000 people. Okay, let that in. How many people do you really need to have a successful business? Is it 50? Is it 100? Are you one of those people that wants to reach thousands of people? Think about it for you. And then I want you to think about, if I was generating revenue from social media, would it be worth my time? Okay, because that's a lot of times when I say to people you should spend an hour a day on your social media. People are like, what? An hour a day? Are you kidding? And so I'm not talking about an hour a day of, looking at kitty pictures and clicking over to YouTube. I'm talking about business intentional social media. So, so that's what I want you to think about is, how many people would it really take for you to have your successful business? And is an hour a day? I mean, in the beginning, it takes longer than that to learn it and get set up and all that, but ultimately it's an hour a day. And, on social media. I'm not talking about what it takes to have the container. It's an hour a day to create to create an online presence, brand yourself. So what does that look like? You know, the sort of, okay, so what do I post? What do I say? Where should I post? What should I do? I do recommend that you be on Facebook and at least on LinkedIn, because those are two really important platforms. And a lot of times people say like, oh, you know, LinkedIn's just like if you're looking for a job, or LinkedIn's real business and Facebook is social. So some people skip Facebook because they think it's just social and they do LinkedIn. And here's the thing, actually, that's not really true. There's as much business for anyone who's on Facebook as LinkedIn and vice versa. And what I recommend that you do is you be on both of them, and pretty much you can post the same things of your sort of, you know, business content, because everybody sees it at different times. It's all live news feed. And not everybody's going to see every post, and everybody has different connections. So whichever one you're more active on, if you're more active on Facebook, go through your Facebook friends and connect to them on LinkedIn. If you're more active on LinkedIn, then get connected on Facebook. And then, of course, eventually you can add in other social media platforms, but that's a good place to start. So the first thing you want to think about is, I always talk about my social media success formula. So my social media success formula is half of the time, 50% of your time and effort that you spend on social media, I want you to spend it branding yourself. And what does this mean? It means connecting. It means being present. So I used to say it, you know, 2 posts a day. Now what I say is be present twice a day, which means you're liking, commenting, sharing other people's content, you're interacting. And your goal in how you are present on social media is to bring the essence of who you are as close as possible to the internet, as if somebody met you in person. Okay, so it includes being authentic. It includes bringing your whole heart. It includes connecting, interacting. And that's where, so that's my saying, bring your whole heart essence to your online presence. Because when you think about your participation in social media, and when you think about your experience of how other people are on social media, think about, do you feel their essence? Do you feel that connection? You know, everything is energy. So we are all connected. So my energy, my essence is projecting through the internet to whoever I'm speaking to, whether I'm speaking to you live, or whether you're watching this video, or whether I'm interacting with you on social media. So I want you to think about that, because people do things on the internet. They act in ways on the internet that they would not act in person. And, you know, it's an interesting thing that somehow there's sort of a removed anonymity to it that causes people to think it's okay to just, you know, plaster a promotion in someone's instant messenger when you don't even know them, or you know, tag 75 people and for your promotional thing when you don't have permission to do that. You know, because when you tag somebody, that post shows up on their personal Facebook page. So it's like, think about that. You know, you're plastering you're putting your thing out there, and, you know, it's great, promote your thing, but get permission before you paste it. It would be like, so you're at a networking event in person and you walk up to someone's seat and you have one of those stand-up things in a plastic stand with your flyer, and you just put it right in front of their face. I mean, that's kind of what you're doing. And not you, I know nobody on this call does that, but other people do. But it's like, you have to think about that and think about anything I would not do at a networking event, I would not do on social media. And that's the guiding principle. So how do you be authentic? How do you build relationships? I'll give you an example. So say you met somebody at a Polka Dot networking event, or at the Thriving Women in Business networking group, or you met somebody when you were speaking. So the next step is to go to, to either send them a message in the chat or send them a message through Messenger. Hey, Pamela, it was great to meet you at Katarina's event last week. I'd love to stay connected. Would it be okay if I send you a friend request if we weren't friends yet? Or if we were friends, I would just send her a message and say, it was great to meet you. And then what would be the next thing I would do? I would go to her page, her business and her personal pages, and I would check out what she's doing. Okay. I would see what she's about. Maybe I would like or comment or share something that she had shared on her page. Because once I do that, she's going to get a notification. Oh, Diana Morgan shared my post, or Diana Morgan liked my comment. So that's like the beginning of just, it's like, so like social media is a way to take relationships to the next level, to deepen relationships. And that's the thing that you get to do that yourself. You can't really pay somebody to do that. You can pay someone to help you with your business and promotional social media, but this 50% of your personal branding yourself, it really has to be done by you. Your comments, your energy, your essence, and it really does make a difference. So that's 50% of your time. And what I recommend, because this could feel overwhelming to some of you, like, oh my God, where do I even start? So pick 5 people. Go to your friends on Facebook and pick 5 people to start to play with. I say like play with on Facebook. Okay, so who do you pick? You pick people that are active. You pick people whose message is in alignment with your message, because if their message is not in alignment with your message, you're not going to want to share their content. Pick people who are strategic partners, which could mean many different things. It could mean that you both market to the same group of people, but you sell something different. It could mean that they're big networkers who refer, I think especially for you, Lois, just picking people who are big networkers who refer people would be a good strategic partner for you, probably for Pamela too, and everybody else. Pick people who are experts in your field. Pick people who you like, who you want to connect with, and just start with 5 people. If you picked, start with 5 people and then you pick 2 or 3 new people a week, you would really start to grow exponentially. And if they're on other, when you pick those people, connect with them on your other social media as well. So that's 50% of your time. And then 40% of your time is spent educating, inspiring, and motivating. In other words, this is positioning you as the expert in your field. So this is your, it's not the how-to, it's the why is it important? Why is it important to take a big vacation every year? Why is it important to use a travel agent? Why is it important to look at your finances? What does, a seat at the table mean? All of those things are the ways that you can educate, inspire, and motivate people to take action on your expertise and position you as the expert. And when you start to share quality content, what happens is people start to lean in. In other words, the lean in is, oh, tell me more. They start to ask questions. And what happens is, so they see it in 2 ways. They see it when it shows up in their newsfeed, and they see it when they go to your business page. And or your personal page. So on your business page or on any of your other social media, because Facebook is the only social media platform that has that distinct personal page and business page. So on I'm going to talk about Facebook specifically related to the business and personal page. But when I say the business page for the rest of them, it's all of your other social media. So with the personal page on social media, you still want to do the educate, inspire, and motivate. But the way I describe it is on your personal page, you want to share your passion for your business. And on your business page, you share your business. So if you share education, information, inspiration, your passion for your business, and so I've talked about 90% of your time on social media, which is 50% of your time is liking, commenting, sharing, and caring. 40% of your time is educate, inspire, and motivate. If you share that, you're not going to get put in Facebook jail. You're not going to get shadow banned, and people are going to start leaning into your content. And the education, information, inspiration, you can also share that in groups that you're in, as long as you're participating in those groups. You can share that in your in all of your social media. So maybe the inspiration is, like what's important to you? What do you want? Where do you want to raise consciousness? Where do you want to inspire people? And you can share quotes, and you can share, maybe there's causes that are important to you. I recommend that you find causes that are not super politically politically charged, because you don't want to distract people from your message. But there's lots of causes that you can, talk about that are important to you, that are universal causes that people care about. And you can share that on all of your social media. But sharing it from your heart, from what's real and important for you, versus, it's not just, okay, here, I can share this. It's more about what is important to you. It's coming from that place. So, I'm going to pause here to see if you guys have any questions, comments. How is this landing for you? I'm going to call on you if you don't. Lois, how is this landing for you?
Oh, yeah, it's very helpful. Some things, I don't think about how the process, like you're explaining. I feel like I can do that.
Good, awesome. Does this give you some ideas as some things that you can share to start to get more active? Does it?
Yeah, I do share, like, recently CNN has had Stanley Tucci searching for Italy, and I'm in love with that show. So after the first episode, I put on my Facebook, not on my business page, but personal, hey, is anyone watching this? And I got a lot of responses. So I'm going to be looking for, possible culinary tours next year in Italy, that I can put a group together and we can all do that.
That's fantastic. So how could you take that to the next level after just the, hey, is anybody watching this?
Well, I'm going to wait for the last show and then say, hey, how'd you guys think about this? And I'm thinking of going next May in 22. Who's in? That kind of thing.
Okay, so that's perfect. That's like that kind of promotional. That's the 10%. So back to so this is a perfect example. So I'm super glad you brought this up. So the 50% starts with, hey, who's watching this show? Okay. And it could be when people respond and they love it, what did you love about it? What did it inspire you to do? Are you getting out your Italian cookbooks, or, so like take it to the next level by asking questions about it and asking, responding to each person's comments. And that's like,
I did that. Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's great. That's a great example. Perfect. Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, great. Anything else?
I'm trying to think. Well, I lost my train of thought. So I'll go back.
Okay, come back.
Back to you.
Thank you. Okay. Pamela, now you're with us too.
Yes, Diana, it is resonating with me. The educating, the inspiring, the motivating, the show passion for why I'm in business on my personal page. 10% selling, I will absolutely be doing no selling, not even 10%, right? And being more engaging in other people's what they have going on. It all resonates with me.
That's
That's
awesome.
what I need. I need a formula. I don't know what I'm doing.
Awesome. Oh, that's so awesome. Great. Thank you. It's good to see you too.
Well, I thought I should show up before I leave, right? Because
Just a little bit.
I got a New York Life meeting that is starting in 5 minutes. But I do want to. I will make sure that I'm able to. Because how long does this session go? Make sure that
It's
I'm
going to
able
go
to.
about a few more minutes, and I'll just connect with you. So maybe we can just do
Yeah,
a
please
one-on-one.
connect
Yeah.
with me. And I want to
Awesome.
see the other trainings because I
Yeah.
have not gotten to them.
Mhm.
I'm organizing my life. And this is the first time I've gotten on, but it's
I
something
know.
I've wanted to do for a long time.
Right.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad you were here.
Me too. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye-bye. So Lois, did you remember anything that you were going to say?
Oh, I think it was mainly that a year ago this week, I was in Paris, and I've been wanting to put some pictures on there saying, how this has been such a challenging year after a fabulous trip. Everything just closed up.
Right.
And just put pictures on just to show people, inspire, that would be my inspirational thing, and just say, what types of trips did you miss last year? That kind of thing.
Yes, 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 yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Pictures for you, huge. And, are you on Instagram?
I am. I have yet to post anything. I just, like I said, I use that to look at my granddaughter.
It's so funny because I actually got on Facebook in the beginning to stalk my kids.
Well, this is new for me. She's 10 months, so I'm still getting used to having one.
Fun. Well, yeah. So that is perfect for you to be putting on Facebook, the Instagram, those photos. I mean, on Instagram, that's a perfect thing. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks.
And Facebook. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to just go to the conclusion here. So just to conclude, you want to think about your, that formula. So it's 50% brand yourself, 40% educate, inspire, and motivate, personal on your personal page, business on your business page, and 10% promote. And really, the more you build that influence, the more you are present with people, the less you have to promote. And, what you'll find is that you get more bites, if you will, from your 90% of what you're doing than you do from the promotion. And if you do the promotion sparingly, like say I have this free thing today and I just put, hey, everybody, don't forget, then it just lands with people like, oh yeah, versus if that's what you're sharing all the time. And you'll find it for yourself. If somebody is sharing all the time, and that's all they're doing, you just kind of don't even look at it anymore. You become numb to it. So that's like kind of the first step. I want to just talk a little bit about, I started to talk about this, Lois, how to deepen your message, So, take that next step to ask people questions, but ask people questions that are authentic and real for you. I don't know about you guys, but the random questions make me crazy. I pretty much never answer them, but I don't know. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just me, but I can feel when it's an authentic, real question. Like if you asking questions about the Stanley Tucci Tour, absolutely. I would jump in on that. But when it's just the random questions to get engagement, for me, it doesn't really work. Maybe it works for some people, but I want to encourage you to ask questions with intention that are related to things you really want to know, things that matter to your ideal clients. A couple of other things, and this kind of goes to that being a leader on social media. And we're going to talk about this more in the coming classes, but I want to talk about it today a little bit. So we everybody is a leader. And some people think, well, I'm not a leader, but we are all leaders, especially and absolutely in our own lives, let alone wherever else we are leading. And we can choose to be a leader. And we can choose to be a leader on social media, in and through our social media. And what does that look like? Again, it looks like sharing quality content. It looks like taking conversations to the next level. And in this activating world of content and media right now, what it really looks like is, taking the 30,000 foot view, really stepping into leadership in the way that you and your perspectives, in not reacting, in letting go of the triggers and the things that come up for us around social media that are that are that are negative. I want to say that are not that warm and fuzzy, but that are negative, that are not, we need uplifting, we need encouragement, we need positivity right now. And we can each choose to be a leader in that way by what we post, who we play with, how we show up on social media. So I really want to encourage you to consider that, and consider how you're showing up on social media. Consider showing up consistently, consider showing up authentically and positively, and bringing your whole heart essence to your online presence. In other words, bringing your positive energy of who you are and how you uplift and how you transform. So, what I'm going to actually conclude with that thought. And what I would like to do is, I just want to let you guys all know a couple of things that are coming up. And I want to invite you in particular to my Quantum Leap social media boot camp. So I have started having this boot camp. It's really a get it done versus a boot camp. So it's on the odd, the odd months of the year. So in other words, it's January, March, May, etc. And the next one is coming up Monday. And it's a real get it done opportunity for you to have somebody there to answer questions, to help you to really have a productive 2.5 hour session. So it's Monday, it's from 9 to 11:30. I'm going to present some information, but more than that, it's going to be get it done. So it's going to be, ideas, and then get it done. And it's going to be around your message, your funnel, your email marketing, your social media, wherever people are at. There's small groups. It's on Zoom, of course, and you can register on my website. And I'm going to be sending an email out afterwards to everybody, but it's in the Whole Heart Marketing Academy. The tab is it's called the Whole Heart Quantum Leap Bootcamp. And I'm actually just going to share the screen here so you can see it. This is the page. It's it says Content Mini Bootcamp. And what it is, it's an opportunity for you to get clear, to get focused, and to really have the help that you need. And I created this because I really saw that people are struggling, and it will give you time to dedicate to your social media. You'll get a ton done, and you'll have help while you're doing it. So please go to my website and look at this page. And right now, I'm going to just scroll down here. It's $97. And each of here are the dates. The next one's March 15th. You can register for any or all of them if you like, just by clicking the drop down. And you're going to walk away with some solid social media planning, strategy, and actual work done. And that's what I want to say to you. So I hope you will join me. And I want to also thank Lois and Pamela for being here, and everybody else who's going to watch it. And I want to remind you that this class meets every month on the second Thursday at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And also please join my Facebook group, which is Whole Heart Marketing with Diana Konkoff Morgan. And I will look forward to seeing you soon. So thank you so much. All right, let's see.